Okay, so these are some additional exercises for practice solving quadratic equations by factoring. So with number one, we already have 0 on one side. We already also have it already factored. So we're just going to immediately set the 3x plus 5 equal to 0 and the x minus 6 equal to 0. So here we would take away 5 from both sides, and then we divide by 3. On this other one, we would add 6 to both sides. So our two answers are negative 5/3 and 6. Now, let's go ahead and look at some applications where we're going to have to do some factoring. All right, so the good news for number one, coefficient of the square term is 1. We're always thankful for that. So I just need to look at the factors of 6. We can do 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. 2 and 3 are the ones that add up to 5. So this is going to factor into y plus 2 times y plus 3 equals 0. Let me slide this over some. And then give myself enough room. So we said this is 6. 1 times 6, 2 times 3. And 2 and 3 were the ones we want. So now we just set each of those factors equal to 0 and solve. So subtract 2 gives us y equals negative 2. Subtract 3, y equals negative 3. So our two answers are negative 3 and negative 2. All right, let's try this next one. Before we start, we got to get 0 on one side. So let's subtract 10 from both sides. That gives x squared minus 9x minus 10 equals 0. And now we're in business. We'll be looking at that negative 10. Got to find two factors that have negative 10 that add up to negative 9. Coefficient of the square term is 1, so we're very happy about that. So we can do 1 and negative 10, and that's going to suit the bill. So we're going to have x plus 1 times x minus 10 equals 0. We'll go ahead and set each factor equals 0 and solve. Yeah, these problems are so much easier when the coefficient of the square term is 1. So subtract 1 from both sides, that gives us a negative 1. On the second one, we want to go ahead and add 10 to both sides. That gives us x equals 10. So we have negative 1 comma 10. All right, let's take a look at number 4. Well, the good news here, even though the coefficient of square term is not 1, notice the greatest common factor is 3. So let's factor out that 3. That gives us x squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. All right, so we're in business. We'll take it. I'm looking at a negative 15. 2 is positive, so a larger number has to be positive. So negative 1 and 15 is 14. Negative 3 and 5, bingo. That adds up to positive 2. So we'll have minus 3 plus 5. And then we're ready to set each factor equals 0 and solve. 3 equals 0 gives us no solution. X minus 3 equals 0. If we add 3 to both sides, that gives us x equals 3. And x plus 5 equals 0. Subtract 5 from both sides, that gives us x equals negative 5. So we'll get two answers, negative 5 and 3. All right, let's take a look at number 5. Ooh, yeah, again, we want to have the coefficient of the square term be 1. So let's add 3x and subtract 60 from both sides. So that gives us 3x squared plus 3x minus 60 equals 0. Okay, thank God we have a greatest common factor, so let's factor out the 3. So that gives us 3 times x squared plus 3x, so x squared plus x minus 20. And so now we just need to look at the factors of negative 20. Find a pair that add up to a positive 1. So I'm going to do negative 1 times 20. It's 19. Negative 2 times 10. Nope, it's 8. Negative 4 times 5. Bingo. So we'll have x minus 4 here and x plus 5. So now let's go ahead and set each factor equals 0 and solve. 3 equals 0, that's not going to give us anything. I would need to have an x by that 3 in order to get a solution of 0. X minus 4 equals 0. If we add 4 to both sides, that gives us a positive 4. And then the x plus 5 equals 0. We go through and solve that. That would give us x equals negative 5. So our two answers are negative 5 and 4. So number 6, we need to get 0 on sides, so let's move the 15 over. So we're going to add 15 to both sides. And unfortunately, the coefficient square term is not 1, so we need to use the AC method. 2 times 15 is 30. And we want to find factors of 30 that add up to 11. So 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 4 doesn't work, 5 and 6. So it's going to be 5 and 6. That adds up to 11. So we're going to rewrite that middle term. As a 5x plus 6x. And now we're going to do our factor by grouping. First two terms have a factor of x. Last two terms have a common factor of 3. And now our two pieces have a common factor of 2x plus 5. So we'll put that out in front. Our leftovers are x plus 3. And now we're going to go through and set each piece equal to 0 and solve. So on the first one, we'll subtract 5 from both sides, and then divide by 2. That'll give us a negative 5 halves. The second one, we're just going to subtract 3 from both sides. So our answers are negative 3 and negative 5 halves. Or for you fans of decimals, you can write that as a negative 2.5. Just be very careful in ALEKS, because sometimes they will tell you they want it as a fraction. If they want it as a fraction, then you need to put it as a fraction. And let's try this one over here. So we're going to go ahead and again get 0 on side. The easiest thing to do is add 6x squared to both sides. So it becomes a positive 6x squared minus 23x plus 7 equals 0. Going to do our AC method. So I'm going to take 6 times 7, it's 42. Got to find factors of 42 that add up to a negative 23. 1 times 42, that gives us 43. 2 times 21, that adds up to a positive 23. We want it negative, so we need to make both of these negative. So now we're going to rewrite this as 6x squared minus 2x minus 21x plus 7. And then we're going to do our factor by grouping. First two terms have a common factor of 2x. 3x minus 1. Last two terms have a common factor of 7, though I'm going to pull out a negative 7. And now our two pieces have that 3x minus 1 in common. So we're going to pull that out. That leaves us with a 2x minus 7 as our leftovers. And now we're kind of doing the same song and dance as before. We're going to set each of these factors equal to 0 and solve. So here I'd add 1 to both sides and then divide by 3. On that second one, I need to add 7 to both sides and then divide by 2. I'm going to go ahead and leave it in fractional form because usually that's what ALEKS will want. So our answers would be 1/3, 7 halves.